So 2 Democratic presidential candidates are dropping out. One of them is the breakfast cereal himself, John Hickenlooper. Hicken my looper. So here he is. I'm going to play his dropout video here, and then I'll tell you about him. I'll tell you about the other candidate. Let's watch.
A little over 6 months ago, I announced my run for president. In almost every regard, this journey has been more exciting and more rewarding than I ever imagined. Although, of course, I did imagine a very different conclusion. You know, the people I've met across this country take their responsibility to choose a president so seriously. In big groups and small, in living rooms and diners and backyards, people shared with me their deepest fears and their highest hopes. They want solutions. They want this country moving forward. They're sick of the chaos and dysfunction of Washington, D.C., and I couldn't agree with them more. I ran for president because this country is being ripped apart by politics and partisan games while our biggest problems go unsolved. Now today, I'm ending my campaign for president, but I will never stop believing that America can only move forward when we work together. And don't tell me that we can't figure out how to lower prescription drug costs or tackle climate change. Don't tell me we have to accept the number of gun deaths or the reduced job prospects of far too many Americans. I know that when people work hard enough to get past their differences, you can make amazing progress. That's what we did in Colorado. And I was so proud to travel the country and tell people that change is possible when you work together. That's how Colorado made sure 94% of our people have health coverage. That's how we took on the NRA and now have universal background checks. That's how we went from being 40th in job growth to the #1 economy in the country. We worked together. I'm also proud of the campaign movement. I want to thank each of you, the leaders across this country who supported this campaign, those of you who invested financially, and the thousands more of you who made investments of your time and energy and ideas. Thank you all so much. I will always be grateful to our incredible staff who worked their hearts out these past 6 months. You did great work against long odds. And of course, I have a wonderful circle of friends and colleagues, a remarkable son, and an amazing wife. They mean the world to me. People want to know what comes next for me. I've heard from so many Coloradans who want me to run for the United States Senate. They remind me how much is at stake for our country and our state. I intend to give that some serious thought. I've been a geologist, a small businessman, a mayor, a governor, a candidate for President of the United States. At each step, I've always looked forward with hope, and I always will. Thank you.
Okay, so the thing about running for Senate in Colorado, that shouldn't really make you happy because there are other candidates who are further left than he is. So he would be a relatively conservative Democrat in that race. And he has higher name recognition, at least at the moment, than the other further left candidates in that race. So you really shouldn't even necessarily be rooting for that. Now, in terms of this video, I mean, you see a lot of why he did so poorly in the video. Now, you know, hey, he could be a nice guy. I'm not, on a personal level, I'm not going after him. I'm sure he's perfectly lovely. But as somebody who, you know, thinks about this stuff, cares about this stuff, is big on how you market and how you strategize, how you strategize, you know, it was just really poor. So, for example, the goofy-ass music in the background. Why? Are you trying to sell me some Dockers, or are you running for president? Well, you're not running anymore, thank goodness. But, like, come on, man. Nobody needs to hear that. You're not running in 1994. Like, god damn it, they don't know anything, these guys. Like, and the crazy thing is, you and I both know there's somebody in his campaign who made that decision to run that music in the background and thought they nailed it. Like, that's their contribution to this guy's campaign. John, what we need to do is make this look like a serious campaign, and therefore, I have this terrible music to play in the background as you talk. Why? Okay. It's a new political era, man. These guys got to go. These old strategists got to go. The other thing is, hey man, you could stop bullshitting us. He leads with, running for president has been more exciting and more rewarding than I could ever imagine. Oh, has it really? It's been more rewarding? My dude, you probably have less than 1,000 supporters around the entire country, and you were running for president for quite a while. That's more rewarding than you expected? Come on, why do they bullshit us for no reason? There's not even a reason to bullshit us. You're not even in the election anymore. You could have just not bullshit us. God damn it. Now, the other thing is, and I've been screaming about this from day one with Hickenlooper, because he always did this. He would say, we achieved 94% health coverage in Colorado. You're not allowed to brag about 6% of Coloradans not having health care. Again, I need you to take off your American-centric goggles for a second and think about this objectively. Imagine that ad running in the UK or Canada or any developed nation bragging about, we got 94% health coverage. Oh, so you mean 6% don't have coverage? What about them? It's just such a stupid fucking thing to say. And then he talks about the job growth in Colorado. And listen, man, a lot of that, I'm sure, now you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but if I'm not mistaken, John Hickenlooper, one of the main criticisms that the left gave of Hickenlooper was that he's very pro-fracking. So is some of that job creation in Colorado because of fracking? It could be. There is a fracking boom all around the country. And you could say, oh, there's job creation, but it's also horrendous for the environment. And the other thing is it came from legal weed, and John Hickenlooper wasn't originally for legal weed. So he's one of these politicians who just wants to hop in front of the parade after the decisions are made. And he's like, oh, me, totally, bro. It's all me, bro. Jesus Christ. Now, the other candidate who dropped out is, I will spare this candidate my mockery wrath because he's not a bad dude, Jay Inslee. Jay Inslee dropped out. The whole point of Jay Inslee's campaign, and he was crystal clear, is I'm the climate change candidate. I'm running solely to try to, put that issue front and center because it should be front and center because it's a catastrophe, it's devastating, and we need to act immediately. So he was the climate change guy, so I'm not going to make fun of him because I think that in today's day and age, we actually do need that to be put front and center in many respects, and he was doing that. So I'm not going to make fun of that guy. He dropped out. What's weird is that he actually just hit the donor threshold to get into the next debates, and he dropped out. That's just sketchy. I don't know why he would do that, but I don't know if he had the polling numbers to get into the next debate. But he's now gone as well, so another one bites the dust. By the way, we're still up in the air about the Tim Ryan situation. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but a few weeks ago, Sam Cedar covered the story of Tim Ryan in the wake of one of the shootings on MSNBC, said, I'm suspending my campaign. And the idea was I'm suspending it to go to, Ohio, which is where he's a congressman from, to try to deal with the gun violence problem. But my interpretation of I'm suspending my campaign for president was him trying to tiptoe back out of the race and say, no, I'm done. Like, I'm not going to run anymore. This is me dropping out. But the thing is, he didn't get any headlines and nobody talked about it. But it was just me and Sam Cedar. But that may have been the goal. The goal may have been like, let me try to act like I was never really running for president because it was embarrassing how poorly I did. So it could have been a strategy of like, I am going to drop out and I'm going to drop out in a way where I'm tiptoeing out of the race type thing. My interpretation of I'm suspending my campaign was I'm done. Okay? So we know, what's his face? Eric Swalwell gone. Tim Ryan potentially gone. Richard Ojeda ran for 7.5 minutes and then dropped out. And now we have the breakfast cereal, Hickenlooper, and Jay Inslee. So they're dropping. They're dropping. Slowly but surely they're dropping. And I think I speak for all of us when I say, John Delaney, we're waiting on you.